The landscape of media has changed. At one point in time, there was nothing but newspapers. Then there was the TV news. But now, everybody's online, telling this and telling that, giving information, misinformation, misguiding people. So I guess I got to change with the time because everybody has. And welcome back to Everybody Has a
Podcast.
And welcome back, Liyah. So how does it feel to be back?
I wanted to be in the episode, but I was not allowed to be in the episode, I guess.
Why were you not allowed?
Because I gave ideas. I was like, we can do it through Zoom and record through Zoom. And so, but no, you wanted me to send clips.
Okay. Do you know how to do it? Do you know how to actually?
Yeah, yes, I told you. Hit the record button.
I'm old. You know, you asking an old man to learn on the fly. I guess we'll work on so we can have guests and remotes and panels and all that kind of stuff. Give me time. I'm new to all this stuff.
Because I was actually hurt. My feelings were hurt because I was like, I thought we were going to do it to Zoom. And then he told me to send clips.
I just downloaded Zoom.
Wow.
I just downloaded Zoom. You thought I was going to learn overnight?
It's not that hard. I rarely even use, well, I'm not going to say I rarely use Zoom because technically I graduated during COVID, but that's besides the point. I don't really pay attention to Zoom either, but I can look, when you look, especially on the laptop, when you do it on a laptop, you can hit a record button and you record.
I'm from the generation of Zoom meant zoom, zoom, zoom for a car commercial.
Okay, let's get into like the podcast and talk about some real serious things.
Well, our first segment is normally ladies first, and that there are no games this week because of the weather conditions. So,
well, can I talk? Because I didn't get to talk about the things that I saw at the Millington Brighton game.
Okay,
so we can talk about. Can we talk about the Millington Brighton game?
Yeah.
I mean, I know they already heard about it last week from you, but they can hear about it from me, right?
Well, somebody commented on the West End Media YouTube video that the girl highlights were too long. I wonder who that was.
I wonder who that was.
So I guess the person wants to make a few thoughts on that.
Okay, well, I do want to say where I think the star of that game. Well, I guess kind of everybody, but also Ware was a big key part of that game. I forgot what number she wears.
24.
Oh, 24. She, you know, you could tell that they've been practicing with passing her the ball and her just going up. That's exactly what she did. She was taller than everybody out there. They just passed her the ball and she would just go up. But the key point in passing her the ball is you can't just throw it up. You gotta actually aim. And so I think some of her shots were her just throwing it up instead of actually shooting the ball. But I feel like Millington is improving, and you know, as an alum, it's really good to see how much they've, adjusted. Alyssa, is it Alyssa? I forgot her name.
Talking about the number 11 guard?
No, yes. She has been taking control of the ball. I think she's taken over point guard because I feel like Johnson was the point guard at first.
Layla Betts also brings up the ball and handles the ball a lot.
Yeah. Which one's Layla Betts?
That's number 1.
Number 1?
Yeah.
Okay. There's Alyssa and there's Layla. Because they're besties.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the smaller.
That's Layla.
That's Layla? Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Layla is the one who's taking over.
Alyssa come for her.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Listen, okay. That's nice.
And we got to send out a shout out to Sharon.
See, listen, right. There's always a way to tell the difference between twins. And one's always just smaller than the other one. It's nothing like serious, okay? I'm just saying. They're not actually twins, but they're like twins in my head. But Layla, I feel like she's been taken over as point guard because I feel like Johnson, or is it Jones? I'm sorry. Johnson. Okay, Johnson was the point guard at the beginning of the season, and then I feel like they've adjusted and made Johnson more of a shooting guard and Layla more of a point guard.
Facilitator.
Yeah.
The Millington offense is starting to come around, and you left out a very important piece. The 2026 Winterfest Princess, Hope Webb.
Oh, yes.
She's also another post threat. She's getting rebounds, and she's a freshman, so she takes her licks, but she's getting more physical.
Actually, you know how I felt about that game with Hope. You actually know how I felt about that game.
But she's a freshman.
She's a freshman, and she does well, but I feel like there were points where I'm just like, Coach, take her out. Just
why?
Because she had a lot of turnovers that game. Truth, if we're being honest, she could not keep the ball for a long time.
Okay.
You know,
because she had a good game prior to that. So Coach Mario Strickland up at Brighton watches film. So they came to deliberately double team her. She's a freshman. She has to adjust. So when she gets physically strong, she might be big for her age, but her physical strength is different between being 14 and 18. So Cameron Bell, number 1 for Brighton, who's a senior, the one with the knee brace on, brought that physicality in there when she got the ball. Peyton Meacham, number 5, she's a 2-sport athlete. Her brother was a star football player, so he helped her grow up, and she knows physicality. You could
tell with Brighton who were their star players. You know,
who just made the roster, because Coach Strickland had to put together a team. This team went from a roster of 12 to about 2. Then he had to put out a call in the school over the intercom.
Basketball season.
He had to do a tryout in the January to have a team to save the senior year and to save the season. And for them to only lose by 6 to Millington, you know, he might figure this thing out. They might be one of the 4 teams to make it the regionals out of this district.
I feel like one thing that Millington could have really set themselves apart with Brighton is if they actually trapped more. But I guess they're not the best at trapping, and that's okay. But I feel like if you could tell that when they started to do like at least a halfway trap on the girls, Brighton couldn't like figure out how to get out of it, and they had to throw the ball and hit the girls with the ball and have it bounce out of bounds instead of like finding a way to get out of the trap.
Well, to close out, one thing I know about girls basketball, and it's been this way since I've been covering it the last 20-something years, if you got a great point guard that can handle the ball and score, you have a weapon, and you separate yourself from all the other teams. In this league, there is no clear-cut guard that just is that D1 awesome. They're doing it by committee. So therefore, when you have to bring up the ball by committee, it's hard for you to trap, because usually that great point guard is an anchor in defense. You know, you met Coach Leticia McLaughlin, you know, all-time steal leader in the state of Tennessee. And the girl that is second to her played 5 years. She plays at 8th grade, so that lets you know how good Leticia was on defense. But she also could handle the ball. She happened to share the backcourt with Jasmine Newsom, your school's all-time leading scorer. So I've been spoiled. I've seen the top echelon of guard play. So that doesn't happen too often today, but if you can separate yourself. So if Layla continues to develop, Meacham continues to develop for Brighton, they could be in the regionals, and we see where it goes from there. Now, you did save over your highlights, right?
Yes.
So we're not having a traditional Liyah lens at the end of this episode. She's going to break it up into a couple parts. So if we're finna watch a girl highlights?
I guess we can watch my girl highlights.
So check it out. our second segment. It's recap time. You want to talk about the boys' game?
Yeah, let's talk about the boys' game.
Now, the highlights were shorter because the game was... Okay, with Caden Young out for break, the sophomore superstar, and he came in with the pink thing on his hand, the cast, and I was like, oh. And so Brighton had to adjust. They doing guard by committee. Millington had a slow start. Then they picked it up there in the third quarter.
The first like 2 minutes of the game, not even 2, maybe like 3 minutes. It was so slow. I was like, okay, the score is gonna be like 22-24. That's the final score, 22-24.
Like it was 4-2 at the end of the first quarter.
Like it was so slow, and then when it got to the end, I kind of feel like it was low-key Millington was bullying Brighton at that point. They just kept taking the ball. They just kept shooting it.
Tayshawn's dunk, which I know you got a great clip of that. It came near the end of the first half, and it pumped life into Millington as they went into the locker room. Now they're like, okay, we separated ourselves. And I think it took the win out of Brighton because their guy that could do that is once again sitting on the bench with a cast on. And John Thomas, shouts out to our freshman there.
No, for real.
He's on definitely a front runner for newcomer of the year at the Millington Star. He's not eligible for athlete of the year because he's a freshman, but people like him make you change rules. He's adjusted to the point guard role very well, which is allowing Tayshawn to be a point forward once he gets down there facilitating. McDonald, number 4. Is looking good, but
who's also
number 23?
Yes, number 23.
Mr. Jackson.
Yes.
Javon Jackson.
He's like a baby Tayshawn. That's basically what he is.
A little bit taller and plays more in the post, but he has to learn how to come down on his dunks.
Yeah.
Because he
hurt himself.
Yeah.
You can see him lipping at the end.
Yeah. But every dunk he's done this year, he comes down very awkward. Dude, you're built for this. You are meant to slam it 2-hand on people.
Yeah.
Now you just got to come down with confidence. It's like he's new to all of this, and so, but yeah, he's definitely, impressed me. And then I think with a difference maker, we got to give him some love. Number 1, Nick Massey. He had to serve a 2-game suspension for the fight up at Brighton. He came off the bench. That's a no-no. And so I think he learned his lesson to be more mature, more calm. But his rebounding, him being that extra scorer, Nick Massey, and so the development that he's had from Coach Jewel Gates now to Coach Sells, he's reaching that next level. So
I feel like they are doing a lot better. They look like they're working as a team. And they look like they know how to play basketball. Like they don't look like they're new to this. They're true to it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's really nice to see them make those big adjustments that they can actually be like game winners. Like not winning by 2, 3, 4 points. Like winning by like 10, 15 points. Yeah.
And Brighton, I've been privy to Coach Young since he's taken over the program. This is 3rd year. He took him over where he brought his babies up with him, Junior Johnson, Isaiah Standard, and all those guys. And now they're elsewhere. This was supposed to be the year where Brighton is winning by 10, 15, 20 points. Coach Young, I want to personally say this to you. You are a good coach. You had developed your talent. That the pieces are not there. It's kind of like you got the curse of Jewel Gates. They go off to greener pastures. And they develop under you. You go through the hardships and the hard plays, the knucklehead plays that they do when they're young. You go through the growing pains with them. So to know that injuries and stuff that happens, but I saw how you brought your guys together to fight against Millington. They're just young, they're new, and they're getting to know each other, and they're adjusting yet again. So I just
but also what I hate about like the whole like. I guess transferring and stuff like that with like Jewel Gates, like I feel like especially in like Brighton's case, like these kids, you went to a harder
class 4A.
You went to a more difficult class.
You went from 3A to 4A.
You went to a class that you could be winning in to a class that you're getting basically beat up in. You know?
They're putting up a fight. Montfort is putting up fights in these games, but they're in that first year going against teams that are literally built for 4A basketball. When you're learning 4A.
They've been in the 4A.
Yeah.
Now you got to figure out how to work 4A. Like you were doing well. Y'all were the top dogs of 3A.
But that was.
And you could have continued being that.
That was not the school's fault because they got moved up because their student population. But the players who joined, they thought, hey, we're built to take some. So the verdict is still out there. February is now on the brink.
And I haven't seen Mumford in a minute.
Okay, so, and I've seen them a couple times. They had the potential. Coach Foster is going to get them playing some defense. And he's kind of like Coach Poindexter of the girls at Mumford. I see it once. I got locked in. Now I'm going to figure this thing out. But in years, hey, it was slow for them last year. Mumford did not have a great record going into the postseason. No. And then they kept shocking everybody. Jaden Lee turned it on. Eli Patrick, they turned it on. Yeah. So, yeah.
I know they can adjust. It's just right now, it's just kind of like, I feel like they look a little silly from leaving their school and to go to another school.
They're hearing people in Tipton County say that, Isaiah and Junior, they're hearing people say that. And now they got to go prove something. And they got that Coach Young pedigree. They got that Coach Foster reinforcement. Because once, at the end of the day, from Covington down to Mumford and Bright, Tipton County is one big family. Mm-hmm. They had a friendly family rivalries, but they're just one big family at the end of the day. So you do have some boys highlights, right?
Of course.
Okay, so y'all check it out.
Fresh new style, check blood on the beat.
Welcome back. Our third segment, Sights and Sounds. And like most of you guys, we've been snowed in and a lot of stuff been canceled. Post office not open. You can't Western Union anything. We're just back to primitive times. You go to the store, the shelves are bare. It's all, man, it feels like 2020 all over again. So that leads you to watching social media from a 22-year-old to a 44-year-old. So I live twice our lifetime. But we are in a similar bubble. What have you been indulging in this past week?
So, I've been scrolling on TikTok with nonsense. I just been scrolling like a brain dead mummy, honestly, because I just haven't had anything to entertain me. And you know what has been really entertaining?
What's that?
Parking wars or snow wars, if you will. So basically what's happening is people in the neighborhood are clearing, shoveling snow. No, this is more up north and stuff like that.
Oh, they have snow all the time.
Okay. Yes, shoveling snow, clearing out a parking spot for them, and people are coming in and taking their spots.
Oh,
now one that I recently watched was this girl. I don't know how the house works out, but I guess it's kind of like a duplexy house where it's like one half and another half kind of deal. And there's like this really big, garage, I guess, with like parking, driveway. My brain, being snowed in, my brain don't know how to function anymore. Big driveway. And so she cleared a spot for herself. and she leaves, and her neighbor, who I feel like is parked, who lives on the other side, parked in her spot.
Ooh.
And so when she came back, literally people are commentating over her. She's like looking, about to pull into her spot, and she sees a car. And she just stops there for a minute. And so she parks somewhere else, and she takes the snow from, like, the other spot that she was going to park in, and she snows the car back in. Like, she put snow all around the whole entire car. I've seen people take,
I can be that dedicated
late at night, they take pitchers of water to pour it on the snow around their tires so that the snow sticks to their tires overnight because the temperature drops.
Yeah.
Because
we're learning that, the refreeze.
This lady walked across the street and said, "Have you seen, someone cracked my window, have you seen who did it?" And the lady was like, "Did you take somebody's spot?" Like, she was like, "Yeah, I saw it." And so basically someone cracked another person's window with snow because the lady took the parking spot. People are not playing when it comes to clearing out their parking spots and people taking their parking spots.
Well, I think we got a better understanding of that as residents of the Memphis area, going through what we're going through right now when people are trying to pass you on a one lane, which used to be 3 lanes, but now it's 1 lane because it's ice, baby. We trying to run through the center line.
It's like,
trying to jump,
it's like 1 lane and then it's like half of each of the other lanes.
Yeah. So and
it's
then,
basically 1 lane.
Yeah, you got to learn to share the road, parking. Person trying to make sure the tires are straight, and then you come and park right in front of them, so now they got to bag out, and people don't want to overthink these things, and so it's like, yeah. So, but if you put in the hard physical labor, anybody that's cleared a driveway this past week, anybody that has cleared a sidewalk this past week, it's physically tiring. You're sweating underneath all those layers of clothes. Your heart rate is racing. And the last thing you want is somebody to go, "Whoo, thanks, you did all the hard work. Let me come take advantage of it." So that's how people die. Mm-hmm. I'm not joking. That's how people die. Mm-hmm. You don't kill them, but
you want to.
You're thinking about it up here. So yeah, wow. I can see how that's entertaining, but also, but it seems like we record everything these days for drama. So anything else?
What have you been watching on social media?
Well, YouTube is my favorite form of social media. I had to come to the realization it is social media. It's not like Facebook. It's not like Instagram. It's not like TikTok. But it is social media. It is,
they got the shorts.
So, and what they do is they bring a lot of those platforms to YouTube, and people do commentary on it. But what's been sticking out to me, a little real news, and I found out about it through YouTube with some of these social commentators like Black Conservative, Perspective, and others like that I subscribe to. Don Lemon was arrested for his journalism up in Minneapolis, going in that church. I think it was a Sunday ago, a couple Sundays ago. Mm-hmm. So he's been arrested, and he tried to use the cloak of journalism so he wouldn't be arrested. So I had a couple people in my gym ask me, "Thomas, you do journalism, you're a journalist." They asked me like, you do, I'm a journalist. I've been doing this for 25 years, since 2001. Mm-hmm. I'm a journalist. And what do I always tell you, sweetie, Friday nights on the sideline, when somebody come over and they say, "He got the picture of it right here. You're wrong, ref." What do I always say?
You can't do that.
I can't be a part of the story.
Yeah, you can't be a part of the story.
Now, I hope watching this Don Lemon situation, I hope you understand. I've been invited to churches to cover events on Sundays. Mm-hmm. That's not abnormal. I've come into churches to cover things unannounced, but I never disrupted their worship service. There's a way to do things. Here's another thing. I've been privy to secret surprises, like surprise birthday parties and things like that. Mm-hmm. And I show up, and people wonder, "Why is he here with that camera?" Things like that. So everything Don Lemon, even with the stuff he's talking prior and this and that, it'd be hard to prove that he wasn't a journalist.
You could tell that what he was doing was wrong, and he knew what he was doing was wrong.
Also, his behavior during the service, during the service.
Very condescending and like...
Don't push me. Things like that. People conceive their own eyes.
Talking about, well, wouldn't Jesus want to talk to these people? Yeah, Jesus would want to talk to these people, but Jesus wouldn't want these people disrupting a worship service either.
That's not even a journalistic question. See, I'm leaving politics out of it. I'm leaving God out of it. I'm looking at this from a journalistic standpoint because my profession is taking lumps. It's taking a hit. for two reasons. The people who are journalists are not doing the job correctly. And the second thing, everybody out there thinks they're a journalist. You go back to the intro of the show. That's me doing my little commentary on how everybody has a podcast, everybody has a platform, and they think they're journalists. You're not. I'm just going to simply say you're not a journalist. I watched a guy on TikTok reporting on stuff. When he was reporting on it, trying to talk like a news anchor, his agenda is selfish. It's for him. He is against something, so he's presenting this topic in a light to verify and validate his viewpoint. When I do my job, it's not for me to validate what I think or how I feel. You should know my political leanings by the time I get done with a story. You should know how I feel about very important topics. And even my religion, all that stuff should not be in the forefront of your mind. Well, Thomas is this, that's why he did this. You should just say, I got more information, I'm more knowledgeable, I'm more worried about my community, I'm more worried about my government, and I can make a better decision as a voter, as a resident. I know, I can't go down Navy Road right now because Thomas just told me, he just showed me footage of how Navy Road is in bad conditions. Let me take this way. I'll go Singleton instead. That's my job. It's not for me to say, well, the city of Millington ain't doing enough to get these roads clear. Because I don't know what they've been doing. I don't know the budget.
It's supposed to be neutral.
Yes.
It's to seek the truth and report.
That's
It's not supposed to be, well, how I feel, this is how I feel about this situation. It's just see the truth that's in front of you and report it. And leave it at that. Don't put your opinions, don't put your feelings. That's journalism. I mean, I learned this in college as well, so they still have that creed. He has it up there. You can't tell, but he has that up there, right there. Like, we still learn that creed in college to this day.
Minimize harm. Is it going to be impactful to the community? But the first edict is seek the truth and report it. Just the truth, not my truth. There's no such thing as my truth. That's your opinion. Seek the truth and report it. And to close out, I go back to the example that I always give you on Friday nights when I got the video or a photo that shows something contradictory to what the referee or the official said. And I'm standing on the Millington sideline for over 20 years. I want to see Millington win and be successful. But they're playing Ridgeway, they're playing Mumford, whether they're playing Germantown, whoever it might have been over the years. I got that photo that shows that this benefits Germantown, Mumford. Oh, don't show that. Put that away, Thomas. Hide that. You have a bias. I don't. If the referee came to me and said, hey, I heard that, so I can make the right call, and they look at it, I got to show them that either way. That's journalism. If it hurts my mom, if it hurts my daughter, it doesn't matter. But if it helps, that's great. But seek the truth and report it. So I just want people to be aware when you're getting your news and information from places like TikTok or The View. They're not journalists. They're saying what happened in Minnesota to the young man is an assassination. Nobody's been convicted in court. They murdered him. Nobody's been convicted in court. But people hear this over and over again, and then that's when you're in fights with your loved ones at the dinner table. This when you're going out to a restaurant and this vitriol is coming out from everybody because we no longer have journalism where people say there was a shooting and the man died and he was killed at the hands of or during a situation. He was
fatally shot.
Words usage is so important. But when I have an agenda and I don't like the Trump administration, I don't like the Biden administration, I'm going to twist it, I'm going to adjust it or use this word and keep putting it in your head until it's just part of your thought process. Then you're walking out, and they assassinated a man in Minnesota. Uh-oh. Protests in the church. There's no such thing as a protest in the church. And that law was made so black people back in the 60s, ironically, could come to worship. And the Klan used to say, oh, we got them all in one place. Let's go torture them and maybe even kill them. And now this law, which benefits us all because we all should be able to go to our places of worship and get to a spiritual place, a comfort in this crazy world that we in. And our world needs to get better by getting back to true journalism. And people just be commentators, content creators. Stop pretending like you're a journalist. State first and foremost, hey, I hate such and such, and now I'm coming from this angle. That's all I want to say.
That's what you say. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
That's that young folks stuff. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. And I guess you finna do a commercial? We're gonna throw it to a commercial.
I guess so.
All right. Check it out.
We want to thank our sponsor in 2026 Reader's Choice Restaurant of the Year, Olympic Steak and Pizza. If you're in Millington, Atoka, Arlington, or Oakland and craving something special, you've got to check out Olympic Steak and Pizza. From hot cheesy pizza with a one-of-a-kind crust to hearty plates and classic comfort food, there's something for everyone. Whether you're grabbing lunch, feeding the family, or ordering dinner after a long day, Olympic Steak and Pizza serves up nice portions and bold flavors fast. If you're about to have a party, bring Olympic to you through catering. Stop by today or order ahead and taste why locals keep coming back. Olympic Steak and Pizza, family owned and family friendly.
So you went and struck up a deal with Harry Sinners to promote Olympic Steak and Pizza.
Of course.
Okay, so you did your ad read there, like trying to be like a bootleg Candace Owens. Okay, wow. Okay, I'm impressed. But yeah, Olympic. It's our 2026 Reader Choice Restaurant of the Year, as she said, and go check it out. Once the weather and everything
Restaurant of the Year.
Yeah. So
their competition, Harry's, sadly lost.
2-time winner.
Sadly, they lost. I'm sad because I go there every year for my birthday. Probably gonna go there again this year for my birthday because I love Harry's.
Yeah, it's good food there.
It's amazing. So if you want Olympic, you want to grab lunch at Olympic, go ahead. You want to do a little more fine dining, go to Harry's.
Yeah, if you need an apology place for your significant other, or we're a couple weeks away from Valentine's Day. It's on a Saturday. Make reservations now at Harry's.
Honestly, you could go to Olympic for Valentine's Day too. Valentine's Day lunch or something. Yeah. It's very nice.
Okay, it's part of a shopping center, but once you go in, beautiful decor. It's very pretty in there.
It's very nice in there.
And meeting his parents, Mr. Tom and Susan, they're awesome. They're I could tell where he gets his kindness from. It looks like his dad, but you can tell, that personality that comes from both. Dad has a winning smile, Harry has a winning smile, and they treat you like family. Denise and their, the crew, they're gonna take care of you, make sure you're well fed. Get the salad bar, dinner or lunch. Get the salad bar.
The salad bar.
I'm not getting paid for this. She getting paid for this. So to close out, like we've been snowed in, and I miss my gym, but I finally got to my gym.
Well, my gym's the university, and since the university's closed, it's not open.
Yeah, so and I thought I was the only crazy person, but when I saw how our guy Jay at AM360 Fitness cleared out the parking lot. He paid $1,000 to clear out the parking lot, and here are other idiots like me coming in the parking to go and get a workout in. I know a lot of people hate being stuck in the house, but sometimes you just want to get that lift on. So so there's no footage of me lifting or anything like that.
Thank God.
So our Liyah Lens this week says, all been you this week at our breaks. Wow. I need to get back to work.
Well, it's a Thomas / Liyah Lens.
How
about that? We can say it's a half and half.
I snuck in a couple clips. So we want you to, no, I'm not going to say enjoy because I know you're tired of looking at snow and ice. But yes, we're going to close out with some snow and ice. And we'll see you next week, the Lord's will.
Thank you for watching.
Chad Blunt on the beat.